It's that time of year, Oktoberfest. I'm here with all my friends.
We're going to try some really fresh beer today. Only 30 years old.
He's Lew Bryson, I'm Glen Macnow, 30 years old.
30 years old?
From East Petersburg, Mad Chef Brewing. It's a new episode of What's Brewing.
What's Brewing is brought to you in part by Monco Maker's Passport. Download your free digital pass and sip your way through Montgomery County. By the Conshohocken Brewing Company, featuring 4 locations and available at beer retailers throughout the tri-state area. And by support from the Pennsylvania Malt and Brewed Beverage Industry Promotion Board and grant funding from the Pennsylvania Liquor Control Board.
Hey, welcome to What's Brewing. I'm Glen Macnow. You will hear me occasionally on WIP Radio. This is Lew Bryson, Beer and Whiskey Authority, host of Seen Through a Glass podcast. We're here at Mad Chef Brewing, a terrific place near Lancaster, East Petersburg. By the way, this autumn, enjoy handcrafted beer, wine, and spirits of Lancaster County on Discover Lancaster's new craft and Cork trail. The free mobile passport allows you to check in at participating businesses and reward you with cool prizes. A great way to quench your thirst for some fall fun. Speaking of fall fun, Lew, it's Oktoberfest.
The best time of year.
So we have their Mad Oktober. You're a big fan of it, aren't you?
I am.
Because?
I am. It is my perfect beer. I love malt. I really love malt in a beer.
And this is really good.
This is right out of the tank. That's very nice.
That is a winner. All right, for our beer swap, we have a couple of kind of locals. This is the Workhorse Oktoberfest. I'm a fan of Workhorse
I thought
beer.
there was an IPA brewery.
And well, they do a lot of IPAs, and they do them well. You're exactly right. That's what I know them for. They are in King of Prussia. This comes in at a 5.8% ABV, and they bill it as full of toasted bread and biscuit-like aromas with a touch of caramel sweetness.
Ooh, yeah, there it is.
Yeah, man, I do. I like it's got a good nose on it.
Yeah, the aroma's great. And it delivers too.
What'd you bring me?
I got a local, Lancaster Brewing Company, right in Lancaster. I was actually at their opening, however many years ago that was. This is at 5.5, nice low 18 IBUs, and brewed with Bavarian lager yeast.
Malty, and we're going to talk about the malty in just a minute. So,
yeah.
I got to tell you, locally, it is celebrated by pretty much every brewery. I mean, I don't really even have time to give you the names of all these, but you can see if you go to your local brew house in the fine Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, you're going to find one. But the real Oktoberfest, of course, takes place in Munich. I know my son got to go a couple of years ago. Big 2-week festival. You've been there. Tell us about it.
It's, the thing that struck me is that it's like one of our big state fairs, except there's beer everywhere. I mean, they have rides, they have roller coasters, and they have all kinds of food.
And the huge, long white tents, right, that everybody, sit under there.
They're actually almost more like buildings. The weird thing is, I've been there in the off season, there's nothing. It's an open field. It all goes away.
There you go.
It's wild.
All right, so I have 2 beers from Germany, 2 Oktoberfest from Germany. This is the real stuff. This is the Anger Oktoberfest Marzen, and this is the München Paulaner Oktoberfest Marzen. So, Lew, if we go to Oktoberfest, this is what we're going to drink?
Not quite.
No.
No, because they're going to look like this.
Yeah, I love the look of this.
Yeah,
I'm having more of this.
For the last 60 years, they've actually gone to a much lighter in color.
Is that right?
Much more golden. Still very malty, but just a little bit lighter, and it's really good.
Both of these, or all of these, kind of focus on malt.
They're all about the malt.
Now, on this show, we've talked a lot about hops over the years and all the style of hops. We even did an episode back in the day on water and how it impacts beer.
Salute.
But we really haven't talked about the malt, so tell us about the difference in the malts.
If you don't have malt, you don't have beer. It's what it's made from. Malt is essentially sprouted barley. It changes the barley chemically, and it makes it possible to brew. The thing that makes malt more varied is how you process it, how you how you cook it. I mean, think of malt like chicken, okay? So chicken, you're like, oh.
I want chicken.
Well, no, you don't want chicken in your beer. But think of the things you can do with chicken. You roast it, you fry it, you bake it, you boil it, you poach it. They're all different. They all taste different. They all feel different in your mouth. Same thing with malt. You know, you roast it a little longer, it starts getting caramel. You roast it really long, and that's how you get stout, the dark beers, and that kind of bitter burnt character.
Yeah.
That's all just messing with malt.
So Oktoberfest will have what? More variety or more darker malt?
Toasty, caramel,
Yeah.
I mean, that's what you're looking for. You're looking for that real biscuity stuff.
So this beer is so good. Why can't I get this year round?
You know, that's a really good question. And people complain when you even see it in August. I don't have a problem with it being all year round. I'd say bring it.
All right, coming up, a whole different realm of beer. Thomas Hardy's has been making beer for, 40, 50 years, and it's a very special beer. We found a guy who has saved it from over the years. We're gonna try beer from 30 years ago, 10 years ago, 20 years ago, see how it all ages. It's gonna be pretty exciting. We're at Mad Chef Brewing in East Petersburg. Lew Bryson, Glen Macnow, what's brewing?
Book your stay at discoverlancaster.com.
Hey, welcome back to What's Brewing with Lew Bryson. I'm Glen Macnow at Mad Chef Brewery in East Petersburg. Now, a nice guy, Jeff Eichinger. Hi, Jeff.
How you doing?
Reached out to us and said, I got something you guys might want to try on the show, and it is Aged Hardy's Ale. First of all, Jeff, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thanks for
Lew,
inviting me.
Explain, what is this?
Thomas Hardy's Ale is a beer that was written about in a short story by Thomas Hardy.
Okay.
Okay? He described a beer just in the case of the story, and this brewery in England in 1968 decided, let's have some fun and try to brew that.
Very limited release.
Yes.
Very special. And Jeff, this is beer that you should age, right? Most beer, you get it, you drink it fresh, it's good. I want to drink it. It was made yesterday. Tell me about the aging. Why do I want to have it aged?
The flavors change with the aging. Like you normally wouldn't age a hoppy beer because
Right.
the hops, unless you don't like the hops.
They just poof.
Right, the hops will fade away. It'll change the texture of the beer and the flavor. And
This one matures.
So yeah, you're just looking
right.
for like a wine.
So
maturing.
we're gonna start more recent and work our way back. You've been collecting these for how long?
Since 1990.
And you have every year from then?
I had every year from 90 to 2008, except there was 1 year they didn't make it. I forget what.
All right, here's my favorite
there
thing.
was one in between.
You said you shared one of these with your son.
Yeah.
How old
that
is your
was
son?
the 90. He's 33 now.
Okay, and what did he think of it?
He did not like it. I
right,
said
well.
that was the 90 bottle. I started
Okay.
for his 21st birthday, so I
Yeah,
saved it.
yeah.
And on his 21st birthday,
Dad,
we drank
nice
it.
work.
Didn't like it.
All right, so this first one is what year?
This is 2017.
2017.
baby.
This is made by Meantime Brewing. They've had different breweries make this, Lou?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Am I quaffing this down? What am I doing here?
Take a whiff and take a sip.
Sip. It's like a sherry,
Yeah.
with cognac,
Oh my God, there's actually a little carbonation there.
which is unusual.
What? Yeah.
All right.
Even for 5, it's unusual.
Kind of sweet, like sherry, kind of sweet.
Yep.
Lou,
Yeah.
You're the
And
seen
you're
through
gonna
the glass
notice
guy. What do you think?
As it gets older, see, I don't even drink Thomas Hardy's until it's at least 3 years old. So this is getting into drinkable territory.
So this is a 6-year-old beer we drank. What is this one?
This one's 2004.
So we're drinking a 19-year-old beer here.
This one's 19.
Spears.
And
Okay.
you see the difference.
Yeah. Okay.
the
Yeah.
color.
Let's look at that. Look at it.
There's
So
the-
this
give
one
me the color.
is. I want to get it so I'm not. You can see.
And
through it.
this is two different.
This is like a
the
nice
three
dark
we're going to
color,
drink are
but
three
look at
different
this baby.
breweries.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
There you go. Yeah, so this one was made in 2003. Beverage exporter George Saxon bought the recipe and licensed it to be made by O'Hanlon's Brewery. So this is the 2013.
And it's definitely,
Wow. Yeah.
no, 2004.
Oh, 2004. Okay.
Definitely sweeter.
Definitely
And this
sweeter.
is. I mean, there's not any kind of edge on this at all. This is just rounded.
Yep.
You're getting oxidation, and usually oxidation is a bad thing in beer. But a beer this size, this age, you're starting to get like raisins and
That's it.
fig and
Yeah, that's
Yep.
what I get, like sweet fruit. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
'Cause the alcohol content helps that.
and
Okay.
and yet this
11,
is
7,
yeah. I mean,
12%.
you're not really tasting.
Nope.
That doesn't taste that strong.
Do you guys know, either of you know, if I wanted to buy one of these on the open market now, what would I be paying for one?
Like these old ones,
Yeah.
I've seen them for upwards of 100.
God bless you. Thank you.
I would
here
never,
we go.
I would never sell it though. You know what
Now,
I mean?
this oldest one is how old?
This one is 30 years old.
30 years old. Let's open this
Let's
baby
do
up.
it.
And we didn't open it up yet because Lou, I guess you did.
I popped
Lou,
the cap,
okay,
but that's
Lou, you
okay.
said it could be a surprise when he pours it.
Possibility of infection.
I'm
in an
guessing
older
Infection? What?
I'm guessing it's not going to be a surprise.
Okay.
beer. Yeah.
See, and it's darker yet from the
Yeah.
old one. This is fascinating stuff. Okay. This was made by Eldridge Pope Brewers.
The original brewers.
The original brewery. It closed in the year
the
2000, but this is a 1993. This is older than most players on the Eagles, for God's sakes. Well, maybe not. They have some old guys.
Wow.
They do.
Okay.
Wow, that's got some really different
I'm a
aromas.
little
I'm getting
nervous.
like an almost woodsy thing here.
Yeah.
We did a vertical. I
little
drank some
leathery.
from the first year, 1968, and it had it. I mean, it was almost earthy.
All right.
All right, so here's my only question. And
Why?
it's to you, Lou. No.
Yeah, well, that's a
How
good
is
question.
this beer? I drink a lot of beer. We drink a lot of beer. This does not taste like beer. How is this beer?
Exactly.
I mean, it's on the extreme end. You know, just like just like a hazy IPA is kind of on an extreme end. You know, when you start doing something like, Dogfish Head 120-minute IPA.
Right, which you also collect, right?
Right.
Yep.
That is an extreme IPA. It's really big. It's really hoppy. This is just an extreme in a different way.
Jeff, how often do you break into your stash?
More recently.
Well, you figure, I'm not getting any younger. All right, of the three, I will tell you, I am partial to, it was 2007.
17.
I'm partial to that. Lou, what
That's
about
right.
you?
I'm liking the middle one.
You liking the two?
Yeah, I think it's got the good balance.
It's
of
a
the
balance in it too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what
And that
about
makes
you?
sense. I like all three.
Well, I got to tell you, Jeff,
Spoken like a father.
we really appreciate you coming in.
That was
And
my
guess what?
pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. Go out, try one of these. I guess you can buy them online. I'm
You can
sure.
find 'em,
Right?
yeah.
You can find them.
These are still the 17. They're still making them 18, so forth. If you can find them.
Yeah, great
Yeah.
stuff. Really interesting difference.
Thanks.
All right, coming up.
My pleasure, man.
They are, for the first time, well, last year they started selling beer at Penn State games. By the way, not these.
Not these.
But we will tell you, they now have craft beer at Nittany Lions games. We'll tell you that coming up. We're at Mad Chef Brewery in East Petersburg. Lew Bryson, Glen Macnow. Jeff, you're the man.
My pleasure.
What's
Thank you.
brewing?
Hey Ben, sorry, Glenn?
Hi, Andrew Colligan, purveyor of fine Conshohocken Brewing Company beer. I find myself in a bit of a quandary, Andrew. I love Conshohocken Brewing Company beer, but which one is my favorite? Ooh, I do love Type A IPA.
Our #1 selling beer for a reason.
Yes, and Hazy Life Coach IPA. Oh, this one is delicious.
Hazy, juicy goodness.
Wonderful, and who wouldn't love that? Who doesn't love Ring the Bell American Lager?
The perfect choice to pair with our Philly sports teams or anytime.
You know what? I think it's Ring the Bell for me, but now the question is, what's the right quantity?
I think I might have something perfect for you. Ring the Bell 12 packs.
Why, you've nailed it. Now available in convenient 12-ounce 12 packs at any beer store near you. This is wonderful. But how will all of this fit on the back of my horse? Welcome back to What's Brewing. Lew Bryson Glen Macnow. We're at Mad Chef Brewing, where the chef came by. Does not appear to be mad, Lew.
Mad at all.
Brought us a Cuban sandwich, brought us some cheesesteak empanadas.
That's different.
We're going to have to try that.
Yeah.
Some pommes frites with lots of choices
different
of sauces. And let's talk about the beer. What are you drinking right now?
I am drinking their first Anchor Down. This is a tribute to Anchor Steam.
Yeah.
I got to tell you, this big nose of Cascades on here, if Anchor actually smelled like this, it might have survived.
Okay. And I am drinking a 7-bean cream. You know I like cream ales. We've talked about that. I'm a big fan of cream ales. This is cream ale with tangerine and Madagascar vanilla beans. So this is
How is
delightful
that?
little.
Creamy?
It's delightful. Okay. We have been doing our photo challenge contest all year long. Really had fun with it. On a recent episode, we showed you Lew's home bar, which, let's be honest, Lew, it's a disaster.
It's a work in progress.
Yeah, it was a pile of rubble, as you see here. And we wanted to see the best ones, and boy, we got a lot of entries. Thank you so much. Rick Gaston on Facebook, he's got a 7-seater. He must have 50 bottles of booze there, half a dozen taps. Nice job. Rick, you're invited to the season end party that we're going to be doing to ship out him nice work. Michael Squillace, if I'm doing you wrong, I apologize. He has a backyard bar.
I love that.
Right?
Yeah.
Come on, that's living large.
Yeah.
And Larry's Backyard Barbecue, not sure if that's your real name, but whatever. He put this on. This is his 700 level club with a long bar. There appear to be 6 TVs at his home bar. And yes, that is What's Brewing on one of them. It didn't hurt you at all. As we said, at the end we're going to have a party. I should say what we're looking for this time. Here's what we're looking for this time. The largest can, bottle, keg,
Not
mug.
a keg.
Yeah, not a keg.
Not a keg.
Not a keg that you have. And here's what I got. Oh, God almighty. It's Oktoberfest. What do you think?
The bar. Jump it.
There
what is that,
you go.
5 liters?
Well, it is 5 liters, 1.32 gallons of Hofbrau-Munchen Oktoberfest. Top that, and you get to come to the party. Send it to at What's Brewing on Twitter or at Real Glen Macnow on Twitter, or send it to our Facebook accounts. You see all of our various social media accounts there. By the way, I want to thank Jim Martin from Ardmore, Lower Merion Beverage Company. Nice work. All right, Lew. Oh, baby. I'm
Drink
working
that
out.
all at once. Man. You got to
Beer-
drink that all at once.
Beer builds muscles. So for years at Penn State and a lot of NCAA schools, they didn't sell beer at the games.
It's a family thing.
Yeah, right. They did it. You could tailgate outside,
Right.
And they did. One thing, by the way, that really has improved over the years at stadiums and arenas is the quality of beer. You don't just get
Yes.
your large macro beers, right?
Right.
Okay. So, Penn State last year started doing them. By the way, Lincoln Financial Field, Citizens Bank Park, great selections. You see fans walking around with interesting cans of beer. It's a great thing. College was late to this. Penn State didn't start till last year, as I said, and last year they started with Miller Lite, Coors Light, Michelob Ultra, Blue Moon, and Yuengling.
Yeah.
Those were the choices.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, a Yuengling or a Blue Moon, okay. But this year, as people who have been to the first couple of games there know, they've expanded by one. The Rusty Rail, beer up your neck of the
Yep.
woods, right? You know
Just over
Rusty
the
Rail?
mountain. Oh, yeah, been
Tell me
there
about
many times.
Rusty Rail.
Rusty Rail bills itself as the biggest brew pub in Pennsylvania. It's an enormous place.
Is that right?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. And you're looking around and you're like, wow, this place is big. And they're like, oh, have you been upstairs?
Really?
Yeah, it's enormous.
Okay, they're in Mifflinburg. You know what? I gave you a bad pour here.
Oh,
There you
sure.
go. Okay. They made a deal with Penn State U, and they put out this beer, which is called The Fans,
There you go.
5.5% ABV, a hazy IPA sold at Beaver Stadium.
A little bit of hop there.
Yeah, I like it actually.
Yeah.
It's a nice beer. And if you look, the can design I love. It's the Fans as hops.
That's hops.
Which is very cool. They're the only ones that are like officially now in the stadium. Next home game, September 23rd against Iowa, 7:35 home games to go. You can find this beer there. But there are a few others that have come out with a Penn State theme. Hazy Valley by Robin Hood Brewing. You know them at all?
Yep.
Up in Bellefonte?
Yeah, that's where I'm living right now. Living with my daughter. I'm like a mile from there or
Well,
less.
there you go.
Yeah.
And this is State College Fan Zone IPA from Ellicottville Brewing Company.
Yep.
So there's a lot of that going on, which is a good thing. All right, one other quick story I want to get to here. A California brewery, Devil's Canyon, is making beer from what is called purified gray water. I never heard of gray water.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
That is wastewater from sources like showers and
Not
laundries.
sewage. Not sewage.
Yeah, it said not bathrooms. Right. Showers, laundries, and there's a San Francisco high-rise where they collect all the water. They have a built-in recycling system. They save all the water used by residents. They ship it to this brewery, Devil's Canyon, and they make it into beer. Lew, would you? Could you?
I strongly suspect you've already had gray water beer. You just don't know it.
You think?
Yeah, because a lot of this is going on.
On the other hand, I know what's left behind when I shower, and I don't want to drink that.
Yeah, it sounds like a ZZ Top song.
I'll stick with this. Anyway, coming up, we're going to talk to the fine head brewer at this establishment. He's Lew Bryson. I'm Glen Macnow. It's What's Brewing.
I'm Rachel Riley with the Valley Forge Tourism and Convention Board, and I'm here with Philadelphia Eagles cornerback Darius Slay and Chair of the Montgomery County Commissioners, Ken Lawrence. And we're here to ask you to donate to the 9th annual Freedom from Hunger Food Drive.
With the rising cost of food, the need is greater than ever.
Funds will be used to help support almost 70 free meal providers throughout the Monco Anti-Hunger Network.
For every dollar, 7 meals can be provided.
To donate, visit valleyforge.org/hunger, and thank you for your generosity.
Welcome back to What's Brewing. We are at Mad Chef Brewery in East Petersburg. Lew Bryson, what are you drinking?
Strawberry beret.
Look at you.
Yeah.
This is their brown ale, and it is called Mr. Dynamite Brown.
Mr. Dynamite Brown. Do, do, do.
Nicely done.
You ready to dance?
That's good.
Come on, baby.
All right, we are joined by
Very
this
nice.
Francisco Ramirez. Are you the actual Mad Chef at Mad Chef?
Here and there it happens. Here and there it happens.
Okay,
Yes.
and Ed Harris is the president and CEO of Discover Lancaster, where there is a lot going on this fall. I'm going to start with you, Francisco,
Yep.
because you guys have a collaboration beer.
We do.
Which I think is a great idea. I love when these things happen. Tell us about it.
So the Lancaster Brewers Guild gets together at least 4 times a year, and we do a collaboration brew. This time we had the opportunity to actually brew that beer here at the pub. It's the Countywide 5, and it is a Session Hazy IPA.
Nice. When
Yep.
does that hit the
So
market?
it'll hit out September 23rd.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
It's right around the corner.
There you go.
All right.
There you go.
And the 5 breweries are?
There are 26 breweries.
26 breweries.
Members of the guild.
We don't
Absolutely
have
right.
time to make
No, it's all good. It's
But
all
one
good.
is Mad Chef.
We got cover them all.
All right, Ed Harris, let's talk about it because there is a lot going on this fall in the Lancaster area.
Absolutely, and to piggyback off of that, we have a brand new Craft and Cork trail that you can access at discoverlancaster.com. There's over 35 stops on our trail. It's breweries, it's vineyards, it's distilleries. So definitely download that and check out all these spots, redeem points, pop by our visitor center and get some branded swag on the trail. But there's so many things happening.
I'm a big fan of swag, as you can see.
Exactly. But to answer your first question, yes, there's lots of things to do in Lancaster County in the fall. I mean, it's those warm days and cool nights. It's pumpkin patches. It's fall foliage. It's corn mazes. It's the great breweries, of course. And there's just so many things going on. There's festivals. There's hot air balloons all over the sky. There's scooter tours.
I grew up here. It is the best time of year.
It's awesome.
It really is.
It really is.
And listen, I live in suburban Philadelphia. It's close. It's like an hour and change away, so it really is a good place and good stuff for the kids. What else you guys got going on these days? What can I expect here in the fall at Mad Chef?
So in the fall, we go piggybacking out of this Lancaster Beer Week. We have a bunch of events coming up that week. So we have a beer trivia coming in that Monday. We have a beer
beer trivia.
Beer trivia on that one.
Lou, you would win that thing. Yeah.
We're releasing the countywide here the 24th with a barbecue. And then at the end of that week, that Friday, we will be releasing one of our second of our barrel-aged beers, the Paradise. So
very nice. Yeah, I mean, you guys have a very varied menu of beers, as you can see what we've had, during the show. And the brown ale is great, and the Anchor tribute is great, and these barrel-aged bottles, great stuff. All right, Ed, let me ask you, other agritourism offerings that we should know about?
Yeah, so there's things to do here for all ages, really. So there's places like Cherry Crest Farm, Adventure Farm, where you can take your kids, and there's all these various interactive experiences you can have on the farm. Then there's places like Jason's Woods and Field of Screams for those who love Halloween.
Jason's Woods?
That's right. If you want to be scared, if you want to get into that Halloween spirit, check out those places. Then there's places like the Pennsylvania Renaissance Fair, which is huge.
Oh, yeah.
That runs through October.
And they have their own brewery.
That's right. They do have their own brewery. So there's just so many things happening all the time throughout the fall.
I can see you, Lew, as like dressed up in one of those Renaissance outfits, throwing down the mead, right? Playing the lute, whatever it was.
I can see that. Definitely.
Yeah, that would fit you well. There you go. Okay, let's talk a little bit about this place, Mad Chef, how people find it when you're up. By the way, let me just say, and Lew can attest to this, that food you brought for the last segment,
appreciate it.
We and our people here on the crew, we scarfed that thing down, Lew.
The food is very underrated.
That food disappeared.
But we kind of ripped that.
Yeah, that food disappeared during the commercial break. That's how long it took us to eat it.
Means the world.
Anyway, what else? Tell us about the place, how people find it.
So we've been here now 8 years. We are known for our beer, the crazy combinations of food and beer that we do, and then the amazing staff that's always welcomes you. You can find us at madchefcraftbrewing.com, and then we have 2 locations. We have one here in East Petersburg, and then we have a small tap room in Lancaster City as well.
Oh, nice, very nice. All right, final word, Ed. What else you want to tell people?
Sure. So most people know us for a lot of our theater scene. That's back in a big way this year, but really there's so much to do outside between our biking, our hiking, all the trails that are connected across the county, as well as our shopping. There's a new artisan village over in Bird in Hand. There's new shops at Kitchen Kettle Village in the town of Intercourse, and of course all of our outlet shopping. So there's tons of things to do throughout the fall here in Lancaster County.
It is impossible not to giggle when somebody mentions the town of Intercourse. It is just impossible not to do it. So Lew,
especially
with
beers, right? So.
Anyway, Ed, thank you so much. Come out to Lancaster again. We've had a great time here. In fact, so much we're going to stick around the area next week and find another brewery. Thank you so much, Francisco. Man, we have enjoyed our stay. Thank you, everything. Lew,
Cheers.
I'll see you soon, and we'll see everybody next week for an all-new episode of What's Brewing.
What's Brewing is brought to you in part by Monco Maker's Passport. Download your free digital pass and sip your way through Montgomery County. By the Conshohocken Brewing Company, featuring 4 locations and available at beer retailers throughout the tri-state area. And by support from the Pennsylvania Malt and Brewed Beverage Industry Promotion Board and grant funding from the Pennsylvania Liquor Control Board.